city, and the Mayor says that we're vibrant, internationally competitive and affordable. I certainly accept the vibrance of Wellington, having been here all my life, and competitive we are, but it's about being affordable. And my question is, I pose it to say, well, who pays and can we afford it? And you jolly well know that you pay as ratepayers and taxpayers, we pay, and can we afford it? I think that's where there's a crossroads at the moment, that you as voters, you make choices. I think there's real easy choices here on the people who are standing for mayor, from Kerry Pendergrass, and you understand their linkages with the National Party, and I'm wanting to be a red mayor, and my linkages in the past with the Labour Party. There's clearly a Green candidate here, and then there's 3 independent candidates. So you make choices, and that's your democratic right, and I wish you well with that. I want to tell you a couple of little bits about what I'm standing for. I think water simply shouldn't be privatised. How dare any council in New Zealand privatise water? Water is an essential service. All of us, throughout our 76 authorities, pay our rates and water is supplied. Been like that for 100 years, more than 100 years. How dare any government of any colour in this country put our water and put us as people into a situation where we have to make that choice. Our choice is already in the legislation. That's what our legislation is for. Totally opposed I am to water privatisation. And I'm neither going to buy a green situation that they suggested of putting water meters on it. I don't buy that either. So I'm not for water meters. I'd happily put water meters on the commercial sector downtown and charge them more, because there's a chap, one of the things in water in Wellington, that was identification of water leakage. And the Mayor, and I'm absolutely saying nothing here that I haven't said to the face of the Mayor before, so I'm not talking behind her back, even if occasionally I put a sign behind it, over at Arrow Valley. But this Mayor has been saying a year ago that the water usage by you as individuals was 550 litres a day. 550 litres, she said. That's what she said in the paper and through her council and on the radio, because she said that was a high usage in Wellington and that's why we should look at water leakage and control. Well, the chap lived over here, Frank Cook, and he said, no, that's not true. And he said it again, he said it once, he said it 100 times, and he went to the papers and he went to council, and he made a great presentation that the water leakages in Wellington, were found mainly in the CBD area. The commercial CBD area are where the big leakages of water occurs. And secondly, Frank Cook was able to prove and say that the 550 litres per day per person of water used in Wellington was an absolute lie. And now the Mayor later acknowledged that and apologised and said that the people of Wellington were confused. I don't think the people of Wellington were confused. She was confused. And I draw your attention to this document. It says here, Water for Wellington, Draft Conservation and Efficiency Plan. If you haven't got it, you better see it. You've got to get your submission in by the 10th of October. You can hardly even find this, typically, of all submission documents put out by the council. It's in the library, often tucked away. I've got 3 of them. I'll leave one. But you best find it. It's on the web, of course. And it's asking for submissions about what you think about water for the next coming decades. Well, I know what I think. I've already stated it. I'll give you some other little things. I think there should be free fares on the buses in the CBD. Auckland's got it. Port Christchurch's got it. I think in Wellington we should have free fares in the CBD for tourists and all of us. Simply as that. I think that we should take the cars out of the CBD in peak bus hours. I hope the paper prints that right because I've already printed it wrong. The CBD in peak bus hours, we should simply have the cars out of there to free up our CBD and help our traffic management plan. Here's a good one. I think there should be no smoking in CBD between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Well, got to try it. I'm saying in CBD, no smoking from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And all smokers should carry an ashtray with them. Take the bloody butts home. And why not? Because we've all seen the thousands and thousands of butts lying around our gutters, and even in Auckland, they employ about 3 people who drive around in a little outboard motor rig, scooping the butts out of the water. I would so like a job like that. Because the guys are on the water all day, they fish, they have a lunch and stuff, and they collect the butts. It was on TV, how wonderful. Do we as a society have to get to that point? You walk around and you see the butts, and it's a big problem. I have said, and I told this council some time ago, a year ago, November, that I'm a heart person. I was a heart person for 30 years for various reasons. I'm still a heart person. I'm saying now heart is halt all rates and taxpayers. Halt the absolutely raping of the ratepayers and the taxpayers in New Zealand. Ratepayers and taxpayers get a double whammy. And I think that's terrible. It's got to stop. I think rates should be pulled into line into inflation level only, and you don't park out loans. This mayor stood here tonight and said rates are going to be 3%. I think a couple of councils know here that rates next year are going to be 6%. And some mayors and councillors say, oh, let's hold rates to the inflation level. I'll go along with that. But I'm not going to have loans parked out in the meantime, the fancy way of Auckland and what's been the fancy way of Wellington, of where you park loans out anyway and it costs you as a ratepayer if you go somewhere else. If you don't get that, let me just say it. Westpac Stadium, leaky home, isn't it? So council had to come up with another $5 million. Council has already underwritten $15 million to Westpac Stadium. How many millions of dollars did we underwrite to the bird sanctuary? I still call it the Crawley Bird Sanctuary. We know this is land here. And we put money into the zoo, and so on. Well, that's all good, but as ratepayers, sometimes I think I just feel a little small and marginalised by this corporate system called the council, just rolling us over, rolling down on us. We've had some discussions about artificial turf, and no one asked me the question about rugby because you'll really get me going. So I'll come to it soon. We do have to look at bus management plans and traffic management plans in Wellington. And the gentleman here said it's been horrific for a number of years. And I hold the council guilty for that, and the mayor. They've got experts down there in terms of analysis, policy development, huge experts, urban design people. And what do? What have they been doing for 10 years? They have created this mess. They have created the unreliability of buses in Wellington. I was in the environmental court because I was one of 3 people. Benjamin Easton, Maria Van der Meel, and myself, and a group of other 10 people that were so concerned about Manners Moor, because we didn't want Manners Moor dug up.
1 minute to go, Ben.
Thank you. And so we went to the environmental court. And the battle for Manners Moor isn't over yet, because the incoming council, the new council, has to put the final stamp of approval on Manners Moor being revoked or not. Now, new council has to say legally and technically, because the council people forgot about it, and the mayor didn't understand it, that as it is now, Manners Moor is still pedestrian moor. It really is. And new council